In the crystalline chambers of the Galactic Senate's intelligence wing, first observer Razik's tentacles trembled as he studied the holographic data streams before him. After centuries of monitoring primitive species, something unprecedented had appeared in his surveillance sector. The humans, those unpredictable beings from the Spiral Arm's backwater regions, had accomplished the impossible. "High Commander," Razik's voice wavered as he addressed the imposing figure of Commander Ven. "You need to see this immediately." Commander Ven's towering frame cast a shadow across the luminescent displays as he approached. His four eyes narrowed as they focused on the energy readings emanating from Earth's northern hemisphere. The patterns were unmistakable: antimatter containment fields, quantum shield harmonics, and power signatures that should have been centuries beyond human capability. "How long have they been building this?" Ven's normally steady voice carried an edge of concern. "Based on our analysis, approximately 3 years," Razik replied. "They've somehow managed to keep it hidden from our standard surveillance protocols. It was only detected when one of our deep space probes picked up a quantum variance spike during their latest test." The implications were staggering. Humanity had not only managed to develop technology that rivaled the Galactic Senate's finest ships, but they had done so in complete secrecy. The supposedly primitive species had engineered a vessel that defied conventional understanding. A Battlestar. Within hours, the news spread through the Senate's secure channels. Emergency sessions were called as various alien factions struggled to process this development. The Arcturian delegation demanded immediate military intervention. The Centaurians advocated for diplomatic engagement. The ancient Valerians simply watched in silence, their crystalline forms pulsing with concerned energy. In the Senate's Grand Chamber, High Chancellor Nixus called for order as dozens of species argued over the appropriate response. The massive chamber, with its soaring crystal spires and hovering platforms, had never seen such chaos. "We cannot allow an unproven species to possess such power," thundered Ambassador Krell of the Arcturian Empire, his scaled hide flushing dark purple with agitation. "And yet," countered Ambassador Lin of the Centaurian Commonwealth, her bioluminescent patterns flickering thoughtfully, "they have already achieved it. The question now is not one of permission, but of response." In the shadows of the chamber's upper galleries, Intelligence Director Thela observed the proceedings with mounting concern. Her species, the Shadowers, had long served as the Senate's chief intelligence gatherers. This failure to detect such a massive human project represented an unprecedented blind spot in their surveillance network. "The humans have demonstrated capabilities far beyond our estimates," Thela reported to her inner circle. "Our previous models suggested they were at least a century away from this level of technology. Either we were catastrophically wrong in our assessments, or they have had help." The possibility of outside assistance was even more troubling than human technological advancement. If some faction had been secretly uplifting humanity, it represented a severe violation of Senate law and could destabilize the careful balance of power that had maintained peace for millennia. As the Senate deliberated, humanity's Battlestar project continued to develop. Surveillance probes captured increasing energy signatures from the construction site, and occasional testing of its systems sent ripples through the quantum detection grid. Each new piece of data only confirmed what many were beginning to accept. Humanity had created something that would forever change the galaxy's power structure. Commander Ven stood at his observation post, watching the real-time feeds from Earth. The massive shape of the Battlestar was becoming visible now, its hull gleaming under Earth's sun as construction entered its final phases. The vessel's design was unlike anything in the Senate's archives, a perfect fusion of elegance and raw power. "They must know we've detected them by now," Razik observed, his tentacles weaving patterns of anxiety. "Of course they do," Ven replied. "That's what concerns me most. They're not hiding anymore. They're ready to show the galaxy exactly what they've created." Sif, in response to his words, a new signal burst across their monitoring stations. The humans were preparing for their first full power test of the Battlestar systems. The galaxy was about to witness the true extent of humanity's achievement, and nothing would ever be the same. The next few days would determine whether this human achievement would lead to war or a new era of cooperation. As the Senate's various factions positioned themselves for what was to come, one thing was certain: humanity had ensured its place among the stars, whether the galaxy's elder races approved or not. Deep within the Rocky Mountains, beneath 2 kilometers of solid rock, Admiral Rebecca Hayes stood before the massive viewport overlooking humanity's greatest achievement. The Battlestar Prometheus hung suspended in the world's largest underground chamber, its titanium alloy hull gleaming under the harsh industrial lighting. "Status report," she commanded, her voice carrying the weight of 2 decades of military service and 5 years of overseeing Project Atlas. Director Nathan Harrison, the project's chief engineer, stepped forward with his holographic display active. His dark skin contrasted with the blue glow of the projection as he manipulated the data streams with practiced efficiency. "The quantum core is maintaining stability at 98.9%, he reported. "The new containment algorithms are performing beyond expectations. We're ready for the full power test." "Admiral." Hayes nodded, her silver-streaked hair reflecting the ambient light. "And our guests haven't made any aggressive moves." "No, ma'am," replied Intelligence Officer Kira Patel, approaching with her own datapad. "The alien observation vessels are maintaining their distance. 12 ships now, representing at least 8 different species. They're watching, but they're being careful not to provoke." The Prometheus represented humanity's greatest gamble. While the world's governments publicly focused on conventional space exploration, Project Atlas had secretly channeled humanity's best minds and resources into creating something unprecedented. In her private office, Hayes activated the secure communication link to the United Earth Defense Council. The faces of humanity's leadership appeared on screens around her, their expressions a mix of anticipation and concern. "Ladies and gentlemen," Hayes began, "we're ready for the final phase. The alien presence has increased, but they're maintaining a non-aggressive stance. It's time to decide. Do we proceed with the power-up sequence?" Council President Joe's weathered face showed no emotion as he responded. "The diplomatic channels are prepared. Once we activate the Prometheus, there's no going back. Humanity will be announcing its presence as a major power, whether the galaxy is ready or not." Director Harrison's team worked through the night, preparing for the moment that would change everything. The Prometheus wasn't just a warship, it was a statement. Its quantum core technology had rewritten the rules of physics. Its neural interface systems allowed a crew of hundreds to operate a ship that should have required thousands. Its defensive systems could withstand firepower that would vaporize a small moon. In the ship's central command center, Lieutenant Commander Raven Wilson ran another systems check. The neural interface hummed at the base of her skull, connecting her consciousness to the ship's vast network of sensors and controls. "Neural sync at optimal levels," she reported. "All command systems responding. We're green across the board." Harrison watched the power readings climb. "The quantum core is singing," he murmured. "It's beautiful." The core's development had been their greatest breakthrough. While alien civilizations relied on antimatter and fusion power, humanity had discovered something new. The quantum core didn't just generate energy. It tapped into the fundamental forces of reality itself. "Their ships are moving," Patel announced suddenly. "The alien vessels are adjusting their positions. They've detected our power-up sequence." Hayes straightened her uniform. "Let them watch. Proceed with the activation." Throughout the massive chamber, the Prometheus began to awaken. Systems that had only been tested individually were now coming online as a unified whole. The quantum core's distinctive hum rose to a pitch that seemed to vibrate through reality itself. "Power at 25% and climbing," Harrison called out. "All systems nominal." The alien vessels had arranged themselves in a loose sphere around Earth, their sensors undoubtedly recording every moment. Humanity's secret was about to become the galaxy's most discussed topic. 50% power. Shields are generating. The Prometheus's shield system was unlike anything seen before. Instead of creating a simple energy barrier, it generated a field that selectively phased matter and energy into parallel quantum states, making the ship virtually invulnerable to conventional weapons. 75% power. Weapons systems online. The ship's offensive capabilities had been designed with a singular philosophy: overwhelming force combined with surgical precision. Each weapon represented a new approach to physics and energy manipulation. 100% power achieved. The Prometheus is fully operational. Hayes allowed herself a small smile. Send the signal. It's time to show the galaxy who we really are. Throughout the chamber, massive doors began to open. The mountain itself was splitting apart, revealing the vault that had hidden humanity's greatest achievement. As sunlight touched the Prometheus's hull for the first time, automated systems began broadcasting on all frequencies in every known alien language. Attention all species. This is Admiral Rebecca Hayes of the Earth Defense Force. The United Earth Government hereby announces its presence as a sovereign power. The Battlestar Prometheus represents our commitment to peace through strength. We seek dialogue with all peaceful species, but we will defend ourselves if threatened. The age of hiding is over. Humanity is ready to take its place among the stars. As the message went out, the Prometheus rose majestically through the opening in the mountain. Across the globe, humans looked up as their greatest achievement emerged into the light. The alien vessels maintained their positions, their passive stance suggesting that the galaxy's powers were quickly reassessing their views on humanity. Project Atlas had succeeded. Humanity had built something that would change everything. The question now was how the galaxy would respond to this dramatic shift in the balance of power. The Arcturian battle fleet emerged from hyperspace with a flash of quantum distortion, their crystalline ships arranging themselves in an attack formation. Admiral Hayes watched from the Prometheus's command center as 20 warships took up positions around Earth's orbit. "They're scanning us," Lieutenant Commander Wilson reported, her neural interface streaming tactical data directly to her consciousness. "Their weapons are powered but not targeted." Director Harrison studied the energy readings from the alien vessels. "Their tech is impressive, but outdated. They're still using conventional quantum shields. They have no idea what they're dealing with." The Arcturian flagship transmitted a message. "This is High Commander Vexthal of the Arcturian Empire. Your unannounced development of advanced military technology represents a threat to galactic stability. Power down your vessel and prepare for inspection." Hayes smiled grimly. "Send our response. This is Admiral Hayes. The Prometheus will not power down. We welcome diplomatic dialogue, but we will not submit to military intimidation." The tension mounted as the Arcturian ships tightened their formation. Intelligence Officer Patel's voice cut through the silence. "Multiple quantum signatures detected. More ships incoming." A second fleet materialized. The sleek organic vessels of the Centaurian Commonwealth. Ambassador Lin's face appeared on the main screen. "The Commonwealth stands with Earth. The time of treating humanity as a primitive species is over." Trial by fire. The first shot came from an Arcturian destroyer, a lance of quantum energy that would have vaporized a conventional warship. The Prometheus's shields flickered briefly, dispersing the energy across multiple quantum states. "No damage," Wilson reported. "Their weapons can't penetrate our defensive field." Hayes's voice was steel. "Single-shot demonstration. Target their lead destroyer's propulsion system. Minimal power." The Prometheus's main weapon array hummed to life. A precisely calculated burst of energy struck the Arcturian vessel, bypassing its shields completely. The ship's engines went dark. "By the void," Harrison whispered, watching the energy readings. The quantum phasing worked perfectly. "Their shields didn't even register our attack." High Commander Vexthal's voice trembled with rage. "This is an act of war." "No," Hayes responded. "This is a demonstration. We could have destroyed your ship. Instead, we disabled one system with surgical precision. The next choice is yours, Commander. The Arcturian fleet held position, their disabled companion drifting slowly. The Centaurian ships maintained their defensive stance, creating a three-way standoff. The Galactic Senate chamber was packed as representatives from 100 species gathered to witness humanity's formal introduction to interstellar politics. Admiral Hayes stood proudly before the assembly, her uniform pristine. "The Prometheus is not a threat," she declared. "It is a shield, protecting not just humanity but any species that seeks peaceful cooperation. We developed this technology in secret because we had to. Your civilizations would have prevented our advancement, claiming we weren't ready. We proved otherwise." Ambassador Lin spoke in support. "The Centaurian Commonwealth proposes full membership status for Earth. The humans have demonstrated not just technological achievement, but wisdom in its application." Even the Arcturians, humbled by their failed show of force, added their voice. Commander Vexthal addressed the Senate. "We underestimated humanity. Perhaps it is we who were not ready for them." The vote was nearly unanimous. Earth would join the Galactic Senate as a full member, with all the rights and responsibilities that entailed. The Prometheus had changed everything, not through destruction, but through the possibility of its use. In the final moments of the session, High Chancellor Nixus approached Hayes privately. "You've achieved something remarkable, Admiral. But tell me, what do you plan to do with such power?" Hayes's response was simple. "We plan to explore, to learn, and to grow. The Prometheus isn't just a warship. It's humanity's first step into a larger universe. We're ready to be part of something greater than ourselves." As the Senate session concluded, the Prometheus hung in orbit above Earth, its quantum core humming quietly. The ship represented humanity's greatest achievement, but it was just the beginning. The galaxy had changed, and humanity had earned its place among the stars. Director Harrison stood at the viewport in the ship's observation deck, watching the alien vessels now peacefully sharing Earth's orbit. "It's strange," he mused to Hayes. "We built the most powerful warship in known space, and its greatest achievement was preventing a war." Hayes nodded. "That's the true power of the Prometheus. Not its weapons or its shields, but what it represents, humanity's potential. We're not just part of the galaxy now. We're helping to shape its future." The quantum core pulsed steadily, its energy a testament to human ingenuity and determination. The age of hiding was over. The age of exploration, cooperation, and growth had begun. Humanity had risen to take its place among the stars, not through conquest, but through achievement. The Battlestar Prometheus had shocked the cosmos, but its legacy would be peace through strength, wisdom through power, and unity through understanding. The galaxy would never be the same, and that was exactly what humanity had hoped to achieve. "Set course for the outer rim," Hayes commanded. "Let's show the galaxy what humanity can really do." The Prometheus engaged its quantum drive, leaving Earth behind in a flash of light. The future was waiting, and humanity was ready to meet it head-on.